What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of How to Elevate Your Portrait and Content as a Photographer. Again, my name is Idara and I have been your host throughout this entire series. We have reached episode 7, and today I'm really excited because we're going to talk a little bit more about Adobe Express and how you can utilize that platform for your BTS videos. Now, if you don't know what BTS stands for, it stands for behind the scenes. And I love to capture video content on every single shoot that I'm on because it can be utilized as content later on for social media, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, etc. It is a great way to show a little bit more about the process of your work as a photographer and a content creator. Now, I don't do this all the time. I'm trying to be better about it, but when you're already planning and executing a shoot, you might as well get content of it, right? So I like to utilize my phone, or maybe I'll have a friend there with their phone or camera just to get some behind the scenes video of the entire shoot, get some video of me shooting as well. And this is a great way to get additional content that you can utilize for social media. So before we get started, I just want to share some tips and tricks when it comes to gathering BTS of your shoots. I personally, if it's left up to me, y'all, I'm not gonna take the videos myself. I just know that I will forget. There's just no way around it, especially because as the main photographer, I am shooting, I'm focused on whatever my mood board is, making sure I'm getting all my shots. I just don't, for some reason, have the capacity to remember to take some BTS. I always forget, or if I do try to do it somewhere around the shoot, I'm gonna forget to take more clips, and then I don't end up having enough content at the end of the day. So I personally like to bring a friend on set, and this is what I want to encourage y'all to do, just because it just takes one thing off of your plate. So bring a friend that can come with their phone, their camera, and honestly, you don't even need a camera. Your phone is sufficient, especially because a lot of the times this content is going on social media like Instagram, TikTok, etc. If your friend does have like a camera they can use, that is great. I love to use my phone. I currently have a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I love to utilize because it's just so easy. It takes 4K video. And so just figure out whatever equipment you want to use, but have a friend there to support you so they can get that video content for you. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna make a world of a difference. So now that you have your BTS video clips, let's talk about how to create that video in Adobe Express. Now, if you didn't already know, Adobe Express does have the capability to edit video, which I think is really great because not only can you utilize it to create posters, presentations, and other forms of content for your social media, but you can utilize the platform to create videos as well. Let me show you how. So we are back in Adobe Express. We're going to go ahead and click on the Instagram reel and just kind of browse the templates that they have here. I think that one thing I really like about Adobe Express is that there are just so many different templates for you to utilize. And so if you don't have any kind of idea of what you want to do, you can utilize that. I think I'm going to build this from scratch, or maybe I'll kind of collaborate between building it from scratch and also using templates. So I'm going to go ahead and just start off with uploading the clips that I have that I want to utilize for this BTS reel. And just so y'all know, this was actually a content shoot day. I am trying to take more content of myself, and I have a friend that I'm also taking content of her. She's taking content of me. So we just kind of shot each other. So that's what you're seeing all these videos are of. And so I want to kind of take these videos and make more so like a highlight reel of who I am, what I do, and that's something that can go on to my Instagram, maybe something that can also go on my website on my About Me page as well, just so people can see who I am, see some nice B-roll shots of me, and just kind of have it serve that specific purpose. So that's what all of these shots are. I'm just kind of going through and trying to decide what shots I want to use. So now you're going to see that I have the shots that I've kind of determined that I want to utilize. I think my computer was acting a little bit slow, so you will see some lagging, but it will improve throughout this video, so I do apologize for that. But these were just clips that I really liked of myself that I figured would really be good to utilize in that kind of reel. So my next step is really going to be to shorten the length of these clips. I don't want this to be really longer than maybe 20 something seconds. 30 seconds is really my max. I'm really not even trying to do up to 30 seconds, so we'll see what I'm able to accomplish there. But I want to just shorten these clips just to see what expressions I actually like and what moments I want to include. You'll see in the footage, like there's some shaky moments or moments where I'm not looking. So I want to kind of shorten that. And then I want to go ahead and add music too. So if you click on the add audio button, you will see this media pop up on the left, and you'll have all of these different selections of different sounds and audio that you can utilize for your video. I personally like to match my cuts of my clips to the audio, if that makes sense, right? It just kind of flows better. So I like to pick a song that really gives me the feeling that I'm wanting to have. So I'm just kind of going through all of these different options. You won't be able to hear them just because I did a screen recording. But if you go into Adobe Express, you can play around with these and kind of listen to the different options they have. And then you can also favorite. So that was the one thing that I really think is really cool, that while you're going through this long list, you can also favorite your favorite sounds. So that way you can go back to them as well. And then if you wanted to increase or decrease the volume, that is an option for you too. So now we have our audio. I just picked this, it's called Healthy Business Loop. I don't know, I just like the sound of it. So, and also I have a healthy business, you know, so it's kind of fitting there. But I'm just going to go ahead and mute all of my clips. They did have a little bit of audio, so I was hearing that. So if you click on it, and then you'll see that if you click on the clip, it'll give you an option to mute the clip, because I don't want to hear anything that's going on in the clip. I just want to hear the audio. So that is a really important step there. Make sure you mute your clips, and then we'll kind of make sure that that is done for all of the clips, and then go back to the beginning. Now here is when I'm going to really work to match up the clips to the actual audio. So if I'm hearing like a specific beat or a break in the sound, and I think that's a really great point to cut the audio, I'm just going to keep replaying, and then I'm going to shorten the clips and make adjustments where need be. I want to transition to each clip smoothly. So this is what I really like to do. It's a lot of playing back and forth. And listening to the audio, finding the points of the beat that you want to transition to your next clip, and just kind of doing that trial and error until you get what you really like. Okay, so that is what we have so far. I think I'm going to make some additional adjustments, but we're about 20 something seconds in, so I think that's like not bad. I do think that I want to add like maybe like a beginning and end to this. That's something that introduces me, and then also kind of provides a conclusion and like what my website is. So that is something that I will do shortly. But again, just kind of working on shortening these clips and getting them to where you would like them to be. So now I'm going to go into the templates. I just typed in photographer, and then I found this really cool template that I really like. I like the way that it like kind of fades in the photos and the name. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and copy over these elements and just paste them into a separate page that I added in for my video. So if I just copy and paste, and you'll see that it's added over here. The only thing I need to do now is kind of change my background color. You'll see that because the text is white and the background originally was white, I'm going to have to change the background color. So you do have the option to do that. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to use the picker tool in Express, and I'm going to go ahead and pick a color from my actual shoot. I like this like olive green color. So I think that's going to be a really good color to incorporate. So that way it's just kind of consistent throughout the video and it feels like it flows a bit more. So when I get that color, I'm going to go ahead and get the number for the color, copy that over, and then go back to my first page, click on background color, and then paste it so I can get the exact color that I want. And there you go. Then you also have the option to add transitions. You'll see that there's this plus sign in between each clip. And in that specific moment, you can add transitions. And so you're seeing me here kind of clicking on the different transitions that are in Adobe Express and just trying to see which one I feel fits the actual video the most. I kind of like the dissolve. It's just really subtle. I feel like everything else is just very aggressive. And so I think I'm gonna go with the dissolve, and I may also incorporate that into all the other clips as well. I just really like how smooth that transition is. So we're gonna go ahead and change the photos. This is about me. I don't know who those people are. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the photos, and then I'm gonna go back to my template. And I just like that they have this ending page with the name of the artist. I'm gonna copy it over like I did before, paste it on an additional page, and I'm just gonna replace it with my name and the link to my website as well. Awesome. And then you'll also see that the audio is not long enough, so I do want to go ahead and stretch it out, so then that way it continues throughout the entire video. So I'm taking that background color that I kind of found earlier and making sure to add it to the final page, excuse me. And then we're just going to change the text, put in my name, my website link, and then I'm also going to change the color to white. I think it's just going to look more consistent. The black is a little too harsh. So if you click on it, you'll see your text box pop up, and you can change any of the elements. You can change the color, the font, the sizing of the font, the text layout, etc. And I like that placement there for my website. And now I'm just changing the color of the text. Just like I mentioned earlier, I think the white just sits very nicely and just looks a little bit more cohesive and together. And then the other thing I want to do, I do want to add text on each of the clips, or at least some of them, just saying what I do. So I want to say like, oh, I'm a portrait photographer, creative director. So I'm going to go ahead and create those text boxes, change the size of the font, and place them where I feel is best. I think that the other thing that I think will be great is to add some kind of animation to it. I like the idea of it kind of fading in. I know that we already added the transition into the clip, so it may be too much, but I just like the way that it looks. So this is all personal preference, but I'm going to use the fade animation, and then I'm going to also change the color of the text to black. I think black just kind of sits better, especially where I'm placing it. The white was hard to read. So now I'm going to go ahead and do that for each of the individual clips. I think I'll say portrait photographer, visual storyteller, and I'll also say creative director as well. I'm also just going to play it and see what it looks like. I just really like how it just kind of transitions into the next clip. I'm going to make sure that all of these texts, I want to make sure they're cohesive. So I want to make sure that the same size, that the same animation is on them. I don't want it to look messy, so I'm wanting it to be consistent. Trying to figure out the best placement. I think the best placement might be to put it on top. And if you wanted to make actual adjustments to the text, you could, add an outline thickness and change the opacity. I just want to keep it pretty simple. So I'm changing the font size, and I'm going to make sure that is the same on each of the clips. And adding in that animation as well. Oops, I didn't mean to delete that. So now I'm just playing it back to kind of see what it looks like. I am missing the animation on some of the text, so I'm going to go back and add that in just like I did previously, but I am happy with how the clips are moving and transitioning into each other. So I'm really happy with how this came together. I think this is a good happy spot. So I'll make that adjustment with the text and kind of move forward. Then you do have a couple of options when it comes to sharing. So if you wanted to share this file with anybody that you're collaborating with, you could put their email here. and that way they would have access to adjusting this file. And then you could also schedule your post to social media. So this is going to Instagram, so I would have the option to scheduling it, which is such a big deal when it comes to creating content. It's just so hard to plan ahead sometimes. So I love that there is a scheduling component embedded into Adobe Express. So I can go ahead and write out what my caption is and have that pre-prepared. You'll see the video is uploading here, and it just makes things so easy. You even have the option you'll see below to click the date that you want to post it, even the time. So in that way you can plan ahead and plan out your content a couple of days, a week in advance, whatever works best for you. You could also save it as a draft, and then if you wanted to connect your social media, you also have that option to connect Facebook, X, Instagram, all the different platforms. You just click on connect, and then it'll open up this page for you, and then you can go ahead and continue the process to connecting your social media pages. So I hope that y'all enjoyed today's episode of how to create BTS videos in Adobe Express. I want to encourage y'all to bring a friend with you to your next shoot. It is going to make a world of a difference. Give them the responsibility of shooting BTS for you, and then go into Adobe Express and create that video content for your Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, etc. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Adobe Live YouTube channel. And I will see y'all in a couple of days for our final episode, episode 8, where we're going to talk about how to create covers for your Reels, TikToks, etc. using Adobe Express. I'll see y'all there.